What's going on, YouTube? It is Ashley aka MiDNiTE, and I'm here with my buddy old pal Amanda the Jedi.
What up?
Welcome to Powered Down, another episode of the podcast here. And today, man, we got some catching up to. I feel like the last 3 episodes of the podcast was like, okay, guys, it's been a couple weeks.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I know.
great to see
Last
you
time
guys.
was actually my fault.
It was for once. It was Amanda's
once.
fault. She went.
The week before that was Ashley.
Yeah.
But last week was my fault.
Amanda went out of her country to Mexico.
I did, yeah.
Where'd you go again? Cancun?
Cancun.
How was it? Like, you didn't
Beautiful.
Clearly you didn't get sex trafficked.
I did not get sex trafficked.
Like,
it was amazing.
I don't know why. It was like a little inside joke with her, I guess. She's like afraid, she's like, I'll kick someone in the throat if I'm gonna be sex trafficked or something.
Exactly. That is my inside joke. Everyone was like, well, you can't fight dirty like that. And I'm like, okay, sex trafficking, defense mode off. We'll move to something else.
There's no rules when you're trying to sex traffic you.
Exactly. And we're mostly joking, but at the same time, if you think someone's trying to kidnap you, you kick them in the throat.
Exactly. That's what I would do.
Just everywhere. Yeah.
So how was Mexico? What was it like? Was it everything you wanted?
It was more than what I wanted. I didn't really know what to expect because I feel like Mexico has a really bad reputation. Obviously, there are parts of Mexico that aren't nice. Obviously, there's parts of Mexico that are extremely dangerous. But I was in like resort area, Cancun.
Like
very, very nice, like ridiculously nice. Like the water, it's like one of those things. If you look at the water, you'd be like, if somebody painted a picture with the way that the colors change from like teal to like a light blue to a dark blue, you'd be like, that's not accurate. That can't be real. But then but if somebody painted it, I'd be like, that looks like shit. There's no blending. But it's actually how it works. It like literally you can exactly see where it starts getting darker. And like where I live, we have like East Coast Canadian beaches and ocean water and the Atlantic, and it doesn't really have that.
It's all even just
it's all the same color, regardless of what depth it is. Like it all looks exactly the same. So even in like, I've been to San Diego, I've seen Huntington Beach, and all of those, even though they're really nice beaches compared to here, they're still all very similar colored. Whereas Mexico, you get these like amazingly crisp changes in color, and the sand doesn't get hot.
What?
Because the sand is apparently literally like pulverized fossils. So it doesn't get warm. Like the sun doesn't actually make it hot. It just stays a neutral temperature. It was
I don't
insane.
believe you. Do they import that?
No, they don't. I swear to God, because like maybe they do. I don't think so. Somebody told me that it was because it was pulverized fossils or something. Even if they do import it, that's totally fine because it was amazing. Because like I'd be walking around up in the resort area where the pools are, and my feet are burning anywhere where the cement is hot, and then I get on the beach and it's just cool.
That's amazing.
It's amazing.
Side note: when I'm like 80 years old, my gamer tag's gonna be pulverized fossils.
Do it. That's great.
Me.
Pulverized fossils. No, it was so nice, and like the water was beautiful because again, I'm used to East Coast, northern waters. Even in the middle of summer, it's still decently cold, which is refreshing on a warm day. But the water there, it was just so nice. It was amazing.
So you got stung by a jellyfish, right?
I did not get stung by jellyfish.
What happened to your foot?
No one knows. I just remember I went boogie boarding like that the first morning I was there on the waves and stuff. So there's a chance that I didn't realize the boogie board hit me in the foot at some point.
Oh, maybe.
Because I'm like, I don't notice when things happen to me, but I think it's where it hit. It's because it hit on the top of my, basically if my hand here was my foot, it hit like the tendons here.
Yeah.
So like every time you walk and you're putting pressure, it hurt. So then like the next morning it was swollen. By the afternoon, it was bruising. By the next day, it was bruised and spreading up my foot. And then when the bruise died on the top of my foot, it like here started bruising really deep and dark right where like my foot would hit like the side of the ground. It's still bruised and it still hurts. It stopped hurting, but now it hurts again. So
it's better.
It'll probably be fine. Nah? It was, and now it's not. Now it hurts again, but it'll go away. I've had it happen a couple times.
Really? Like something hit your foot, or just like you injured
No, just
it
weird. One time, like my other foot accidentally kicked the floor and like messed up my foot for a long time.
You ever like step weird and you get this like sharp pain and you're like,
Yep. So I don't really know what I did, but it didn't really like hold me back or anything. I still did everything I wanted to do. Like
what was like the best thing you did or the favorite?
Okay, we did a jungle tour through the mangroves. So it's through a lagoon that then leads into where the ocean is. So lagoon is where there's like crocodiles and stuff.
No.
So I know. So we're going through there, It was super windy that day. I was wearing my MLG dad hat, and I love that hat. And I was holding it down on my head, but it was literally everybody had like a 2-person speedboat that they were allowed driving themselves. So like Jen was driving on the way there, I drove on the way back. So on the way there, I'm like literally holding it down on my head. And we hit a wave that is like so bumpy that it actually makes me go up in the air, and my hand came off of my head and then it fell in. And then it was like underwater like that. So I was like, okay, well that now belongs to the crocodiles. That is not mine anymore. But then we get to the snorkeling area, and it's like the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. And if you guys are watching this video right now, my vlog of all that'll be out.
I was gonna ask you, did you vlog very much, or?
I try not as much as I would have liked, but we had a GoPro, so I brought a GoPro around to do like all of the outdoorsy stuff that we did. So I didn't actually realize how good the GoPro microphone was. Otherwise, I probably would have done a lot more with it. But you know, we went underwater. We saw all these different like flounder fish and clownfish, and the guy our tour guide, his name was like Fernand, but his last name was Machin. And he had like after we were done doing the snorkeling, which was awesome, he like gave us all bottles of water from like a little cooler that said Love Machine on it. I was like, oh, that's funny. And he's all like, yeah, that's my nickname. And then I was like, everybody laughs. And he's like, no, really? And he comes and he has this like engraved silver bracelet that says Love Machine on it. And he was
what a fucking baller, dude.
Funniest dude. And then we went like jet skiing.
That's my new gamer tag. Love Machine.
Love Machine. Yeah, it was great. So that was probably the coolest thing. That was my favorite thing. And then the rest was like that was my first real vacation I've ever had in my entire life.
Dude, yeah, you deserved it.
Yeah, like every time I go places, it's to do something.
Yeah,
and it's
a vlog, man. Don't vlog, just be.
Yeah, and a lot of it was I was just sitting by a pool, drinking banana daiquiris from Cesar, and reading books.
Was that the guy who was making?
Yeah, he was all like, he'd be like, "Hello, McLean family, I'm here," and I was like, "Okay, cool." And he's like, "I'm gonna be, dealing with you all week." So he would just literally periodically come by, like every 20 minutes, and see if you needed something. It was great, and then you would just charge it to the room. And it was amazing.
Who was the guy that had like this crazy story you were just telling me about before we started recording?
Okay. So this is kind of unrelated to my Mexico adventure, but I have been, every once in a while I look for new gear for my camera setup and stuff. And I decided I wanted to get a stabilizer. So that's something that you put the camera on, and when you're moving, it stops it from being all shaky and stuff when you're walking around.
What's the difference between that and a gimbal, or is it the same thing?
Gimbals, and there's two different, there's gimbals and then there's like cranes. So gimbals and cranes have like a motor inside them that manually, so like when you're moving it, so gimbals work really well, but they're huge thing. Cranes are small, you hold them in one hand, but the issue is that if you want to turn really quickly, it takes it a second to follow where you're going. So what I was looking at was a glide cam, which is one of those ones where you hold a little handle and then you just use one hand to just kind of angle it. Harder to use, harder to balance, but there's a guy here selling one for like a really good price. It was used, it was kind of banged up because he was a travel videographer, but I was like, sure, for that price, it came with like a separate head. So I was like, this is great. So I started messaging the guy. And
so this is like a Craigslist thing that you found in Mexico, or how did you?
No, because this was here. This is trust me, it's gonna tie in. It's gonna tie in.
I thought it was like while you were in Mexico, you found this guy with a gimbal. I was like, what?
No, I'm not gonna do sketchy things like that. No. But
Amanda's down there doing gimbal deals, guys.
Yeah, exactly. Either way, so I'm messaging this guy, and his bottom, like his email stamp has like something called the Kick the Grind on it. And it's all these little YouTube things. I just sometimes when I contact people on this particular, it's called Kijiji here. It's like basically Craigslist. But I know it's the stupidest name. It's called Kijiji.
Damn.
I know. Either way, I like sometimes I look people up just to make sure, see if I know who they are on Facebook or if they're reliable people. And like, sure enough, this guy has links to his YouTube channel, and he's got like a pretty decent sizing. He's like a travel videographer, and who currently lives in Mexico City.
Wow, what a coincidence.
So I was like, oh, that's crazy. So it's been really hard trying to get it because he's trying to negotiate. He's trying to get his family to drop it off to me, and I pay for it. It's like weird. But either way, so I started watching some of his YouTube videos just to be like, okay, I'm kind of worried about Mexico. What does this guy have to say about Mexico, living in Mexico City, which is clearly going to be like way more dangerous than Cancun.
Right.
So I'm just like watching some of his videos, and some of his most recent ones were how he went to one of the witch villages and was supposed to get a cleansing done. but ended up convincing them
define
to
cleansing. Like
it was like it's like they do like weird like they kind of bless him with herbs and stuff and
burning and the crystals.
Yeah, basically stuff like that. But he kept being like, "Can I record you?" And they were like, and she eventually was like, and he was like, "I know you can't record the real one. Can you do like a fake one that's like a little bit of what you'd normally do and then do the real one?" And she just kept being like, "It won't do you any good." And then, but they were like, "Will it do me any bad?" And she was just like, "It won't do you any good." And like since then, he has had his. He wasn't even.
Wait, he did continue on and record it anyway.
On and he recorded it.
Ooh, bad
and
boy.
then and then he from that point on he ended up getting like he was like in Mexico City and ended up having a prostitute steal his phone, his brand new iPhone 10, iPhone X.
What was he doing hanging out around her?
He and his friends were drunk driving home in an Uber, and they were questioning how much it would cost to get a prostitute. They had no intention of using one, so I guess one of them actually got in the Uber, and they were like, no, we're good. But in the time that she was in the Uber trying to like sell herself, she grabbed his phone and got out.
Holy shit.
So then he does a bunch of really stupid things to try to get it back, and obviously ends up losing more money. And then, but he gets home, he checks, makes sure he has his wallet, everything's good. Wakes up the next morning, and his wallet's gone.
What?
So somebody managed to steal his wallet in the time that he was trying to figure out how to get his phone back. And now he thinks he's cursed. So now, do you think he's cursed, Ashley?
No, I think he was drunk. I think.
Yeah, but he's like, my wallet was there when I got back to the apartment. But sometimes you think you saw something that you had on you and you didn't actually, and he might have lost. Because basically what happened was
especially if you're intoxicated.
Yeah, like say he got out of the car. Well, you sober up real fast when a prostitute steals your iPhone in Mexico.
I would be like,
yo. I guess they got out and started talking to the other girls, being like, "Look, this is how much cash I have. If you can go get her and tell her to bring it back to me,
what?
I will give you this money." But
that's
then, of
where
course,
it went wrong.
Exactly, and she was like, "You give me the money. I'll go find her. She's not gonna want to see you. You guys do a round around the block, and then I'll be right back here waiting with your phone." And he even said in the video,
they gave her the money.
He was literally like, "I knew that it wasn't gonna pan out that way. I knew that it wasn't gonna work out, but it ended up being like it was the equivalent of $40 US. Okay. And I was like, for one, nobody's gonna bring you back an iPhone that they've made off with at this point for $40 American, and they're definitely not gonna ask you to do a turn around the block." After he even said, it's like, "We knew we were getting scammed, but I figured might as well try it." And I was like, no,
be aggressive.
Dude. Exactly. Well, and at that point they were like, "Oh, well, he had like Find My iPhone on and all this other stuff," but they're smart enough to know you don't turn on the iPhone. He was like, they definitely just took it apart. Like they would have took it apart and sold it for parts on the black market. Damn. So it's gone. And then he said, when I got home, I checked to make sure I had my wallet, woke up the next morning, couldn't find it, figured it was just probably somewhere around the apartment, woke up the next day, still couldn't find it. That started setting off alarms, checked my account. Turns out people were trying to make fraudulent purchases with my card.
Damn.
So it's like, this dude's having the worst luck, and he's like, "I don't know if my friends here think I got cursed because they take that stuff really seriously there. That's part of their culture."
I wonder. Dude, I don't, okay.
So now people are like, you need to go to a different witch to get actually cleansed.
I don't think that he got cursed, but at the same time, maybe he did, because I do not mess with that stuff. Like, I won't even bring a Ouija board in my place. Like, I don't mess with any of that calling of spirits type stuff. Like, I don't know if I believe in that, but at the same time, let me not find out.
Let the spirits rest. But yeah, I guess he was like going back through, and he was like, "Yeah, the stuff she was saying, I thought she was like asking about like saints and prayers and stuff, but she was actually talking to like assassins and something about a red dragon." And so she doesn't. And he's like, he's going to talk to somebody else to see if he needs his, like, honestly, it was basically like, other than the wallet, everything was just a series of bad mistakes. Like, it doesn't matter if you're curious to how much a prostitute costs. You do not ask the prostitute how much she costs.
This sounds like the like C version of The Hangover.
The Hangover?
Or something. Yeah,
I know. Exactly. So I just thought that was an interesting anecdote, that this guy I'm trying to buy this thing from here in Canada is living in Mexico, and I went to Mexico like right at the same time, and that we have this like it's small world, and like he's like a decently sized YouTuber, and he just never hit my radar before. So like,
did I okay, well, there's two things. Did I ever tell you, I think I told you about the hairstyles on the podcast, or no? Did I say that on the podcast?
The new one? Because you got a new one?
Yeah. Like, it was a small world situation.
Yeah, because they were from Minnesota.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't remember if I said that on the podcast
or just before or after the podcast.
Crap. I think I did say it on the podcast, maybe.
Either way, Ashley got...
Yeah, small world.
You did.
A small world. Yeah, the guy who owns the hair place by me is from where I'm from, like the city.
Yeah.
And like I knew exactly where I lived.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Which is crazy.
So many... Yeah, I have another small story thing. When I was 17, the first time I went anywhere alone, me and my friend went to Toronto to see Linkin Park's Project Revolution tour that had like, you know, Taking Back Sunday, him, a bunch of different bands, Linkin Park. When I was 17, that's how I cracked my skull. That's where I cracked my skull.
Damn.
You can see it right there. That's scar tissue dented sideways because it won't actually frown. It does this weird line. But we were in a line to get in because we got there really early. The people behind us were from the same province as us, and we're from a very small province. So like Ontario is like massive. New Brunswick is like this small.
Yeah,
so
I've never heard of like somebody from... Actually, no. One of my Twitch mods is from where you're from.
Yeah, exactly. That's weird. I found a lot of people on Twitch that are
so weird though, right?
But then years later, I moved to this city, move into my last apartment building. Guess who lives in that same apartment building?
The people from the line?
The people from the line!
What? Yeah, so you saw them and you were like, holy shit, did I see you at a concert?
Because we'd added each other on Facebook because it was like so weird that we had met each other, and then next thing I know, about... Because it's that basically, I lived in something called the Shoe Factory. There's only one of them. So I was like, whoa. And then finally I walked by her one day and I'm like, you live here?
That's
just like,
crazy.
Whoa. Small world. I think we all live in a simulation.
I don't know if it's a simulation, but like, maybe it is. Because honestly, like
I don't actually think that, but some things are just too weird.
I am saying like, there's like certain people that you will come across, you're like, what are the fucking odds that I would see you? Like, from all the places you could be from all the places you could live, and all the places I could go get my hair cut. Like, that's how that works out.
It's crazy. And it is crazy. Honestly, the last 2 times I've traveled, this last time I was traveling back from Montreal, one of the guys that goes to the YMCA was also on that flight. The last time I was traveling, coming back from Toronto, that same dude happened to be coming back from Toronto.
What?
And he doesn't travel that much. It just happened to line up.
That's weird.
Like, what? It's so weird.
I'm creeped out.
I know.
It's a small world.
It's so small.
Speaking of
crazy.
Well, in a cleansed world.
Cleansed world.
So
do we want to? Depending on what topic you're moving into, that could have been a really dangerous transition.
True. Okay, so let's lay it out. My dumb ass is doing a juice cleanse. I'm in the middle of it right now. I just started it today. Actually, I was going to start it yesterday, but then I didn't. But today, because I was planning on going to my friend's concert yesterday, and I didn't want to go like starving, and like I have to drink this juice like every 2 or 3 hours. There's like 6 bottles, and you drink them like every 2 or 3 hours. I learned about this from Sam and Davis.
Yep, and I tried to warn you against it when you were posting about it from Sam and Davis.
Well, I did like research it, and what you're saying like is also like stuff that I read. Like basically, your body does a really good job of getting rid of bad things already. That's what its job is. It is not good to go very long without like fiber and carbs and stuff.
Protein.
But there are also well, I guess like the protein, they try to put that like protein in the milk, basically the almond milk that I'm gonna drink, but still,
that's like once a day. Like,
I know it's not enough.
It's not.
It's not.
And
enough.
Like I said, a bunch of the bases are apple juice, so it's just a lot of sugar.
Only 2 of them are apple, but out of the 6. But so far, I only have drank 2 of them. I don't feel anything other than like I miss my coffee. Like I think cutting out caffeine is the hardest part.
Oh yeah, that would be.
Because I just want coffee. I don't feel fully awake till I have my coffee.
Actually, I have an offer in my emails right now that could help you with that.
Coffee, no, it's not coffee mints. It's caffeine mints.
Caffeine breath mints.
I'd rather just go to Starbucks if I'm honest. Unless they would like to sponsor the podcast, then hit us up. We would love to promote caffeine
breath mints with B vitamins. I have a B12 deficiency. Let's do it.
Okay, let's rock on, dude.
Let's rock on.
So anyway, the reason I'm doing this cleanse is because it does, although like the negative things like you said, it actually does have positive health benefits. It helps you with bloating a ton. Like it helps you cut your water weight basically. It helps you you know, it gives you like essential vitamins that I wouldn't be getting otherwise. And I'm using it as like a springboard basically into my don't eat bad food diet. Like
fair.
For me, like personally, I won't keep eating clean if I do too much of a difference, right? Like if I go, okay, well, I'm gonna just prep all my meals and that's what I'll eat, but like,
and a juice cleanse isn't doing too much different.
It is. That's why I'm like making myself do it. I'm springboarding myself into this new like thing, right? And so like I'm not gonna go like totally crazy diet or anything. I'm gonna just watch what I eat and work out. Like it's really not hard to lose weight. It's just it takes a lot of willpower, I guess, or habit breaking. It takes a lot of like finding joy in other things.
One day to break a habit, it takes like 21 to make one. So
yeah, like, exactly, dude. Yeah. And so like I don't know, man. It seemed like a good idea. It's kind of expensive, so I didn't like that part.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing.
It definitely does not cost them very much to make them.
No, it's an expensive waste of money.
Well, I mean, you could buy a juicer, but those are also like very expensive.
I don't agree with juices in general. I think because
you're compounding vitamins into a juice. Like I wouldn't mind mixing a couple of these into my regular diet once in a while.
Yeah, which is fine, but on the most part, juices like totally pull out fiber and most nutrients that are from the fruit. Like if you made a smoothie, it would be better because then you're also like.
But what about like vegetables and stuff? Like 2 of them are like veggie juices, basically.
Yeah. Well, those ones those ones usually aren't as bad. But I think one of the veggie juices you mentioned had an apple base, and I thought that was like really weird.
Maybe I think they put the sugar from the fruit in there basically, maybe to keep you going. I don't know, whatever keeps you going when you don't have carbs or
keeps it
protein.
Yeah, but because everything you're mentioning that the benefits are things you can do by just like slightly changing your diet and drinking water.
Oh, for sure. That's why this is like it's like a bunch of it in one. Gotcha. It's a bunch of it in one go to shoot me into this new dimension of don't eat.
Oh, it's gonna shoot something.
I mean, obviously, I'm still gonna like eat bad sometimes.
Oh yeah,
like my mom is coming this next week, and like I'm not gonna be able to like eat like a. No, I mean she eats really well too. She wants to cook like good food for me and stuff, but like,
which is great.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Like
I've always been a moderation. Some people can't do it. Some people literally can't do things where they eat like 90% healthy and then have like a little bit of snack. Like, I will like eat mostly healthy and then have like a peppermint patty while I'm streaming or something, just to kind of like as a snack or something. Some people literally can't do that without making it through the entire bag of something.
Right, like I didn't even
some people can't moderate.
I didn't even buy Girl Scout cookies this year because my ass is gonna eat all them shits, dude.
There you go.
I'm gonna put on Pulp Fiction and slam a box of Samoas, dude.
Yeah, and I'm like, there's some things I don't have control over. Like I go through like food cycles where there's certain things that I'm just super into eating, and I'm just gonna eat them.
Yeah, I've done that too.
But for the most part, I can be pretty like I feel like when I was taking like my health and all fitness stuff like super seriously, I would count macros. Yeah, and like it was really easy for me to be like, okay, this is how many calories I have to work in a day. This is how many have to be protein, carbs, fats, whatever. And then I was like really good at being like, okay, cool, I've got all this healthy stuff. I can have an ice cream cone from Dairy Queen.
Yeah,
hell yeah. Like some people can't do that because that one ice cream cone is like, might as well just have this can of Coke. Might as well have this chocolate bar. Like if I've already ruined my day with one thing, might as well keep going.
Dude, so, like, and the thing was like that would turn into like I'll cheat on Friday night. Fuck it, I'll cheat all weekend. Fuck it.
Oh, it's a cheat day, cheat weekend.
Yeah, and then I'll hit the gym on Monday. And then I do, but like the thing is, and this is like what's sparking the big change. It's not even really how I look, although I do want that to change. I just don't feel good. Like when I eat a bunch of bread and stuff, I don't feel very good. And when I eat well, like, do you fuck with kombucha?
Never had it.
I
hear good things about it, but I just never had it.
I so heavily fuck with it. I'm gonna start freaking with it. Sorry, YouTube. I so heavily frick with kombucha. I'm gonna start drinking that a couple times a week as well. It's basically like fermented tea or something like that, and it tastes kind of like weird beer. And apparently, it has it's probiotic, so it has different bacteria that can help your gut.
Yes,
and if you
be warned. It can make you smell horrendous.
Really?
Yeah,
I mean,
it can
I'm
do like
not
really
gonna.
weird things to your like your glandular sweat and stuff. Even if you don't sweat much, you can just start smelling really.
Gross. I
Just as a
haven't.
heads up,
I mean, I've
they've
only
changed a
had like
lot, but
1 or 2 bottles a week. I don't drink it like
yeah,
daily or a lot of it.
yeah. I think it's people who drink it like very very consistently.
Kind of like when you eat like a
Yeah,
shitload of garlic and you're just
yeah,
dank for
exactly.
like 3 days.
Yeah, or drink a lot of Tim Hortons coffee. You just start
I
things
miss
just start
Tim's.
smelling.
I miss
I
Tim's.
miss there's some things about Tim's that I still really like, but lately the coffee's just been like so bad, just so
I
bad.
just want an ice cap and a little thing of
Those,
Timbits.
those are great.
That's all
Those
I
are
want.
solid.
That's all I want. I
Hmm.
don't even. Is it weird that like I don't miss Minnesota as much as I thought I would? Like I definitely miss my family,
Yeah.
but
No, I don't think that's weird.
I like, and I do miss like the familiarity of some areas. Like I'm sure when I go back this summer, I'm gonna be like, oh my god, I miss this freeway and this road that I used to drive every day. Like I
Yeah.
miss it. But like Texas has such amazing weather compared to Minnesota, and I know like in 2 months I'm gonna like be dying from the heat, and I won't be
Yep.
saying that, but even then, the heat time here will not last as long as the shitty winter time there.
I can guarantee that because I'm looking outside right now and I still shit ton of snow. So
Yeah, like
if
that's
it.
horrible. Like it's lasts
Yep.
so long. Like the bad season lasts so long and it's
Yeah. No, it's
not
terrible.
fun. Like it my whole I don't know, like everything like changes with the weather, I think.
I agree because like Mexico was just there's like I said I always compare it to this is that in Canada you spend the winter it can literally be like 7 to 8 months of snow or bad weather here. It's like it's
For
really
real.
bad.
It's bad.
So
That's
like
worse
when
than Minnesota actually.
yeah, so when it's like honestly I haven't experienced an actual spring probably in like 8 years at this point. It's really bad. It basically just goes you have like a week of some really nice weather when it's still technically winter, then it goes right back into shitstorm mode,
Yup.
and then it's summer. But I always try to equate it to, after that long winter and we were at work all day and you walk outside and and it's like the first really nice day, you just breathe it in and there's that heat and it's just like, it's almost like all of your stresses just start leaving with you. Whereas in the winter, when I leave work, it's cold. So I go from one tense situation to tensing up from the cold and it's like 8 months of tension. And like,
Yeah, I could see that, but I don't really see that as worth it. Like,
no, I'm not saying that that's a good thing. I'm saying that that's
oh,
a bad
you're
thing. I'm
saying
just
yeah,
saying if
like
you
it's
could walk outside and feel that all the time. Like if you walk outside and it's just nice and you're so carefree because it's
dude,
so nice
yeah.
out all the time. And then no,
We love
no,
Texas.
not,
Like I said, I
yes.
will be dying. The strange thing is that maybe I'm going to put this to the test, but the other day it was 85 here.
Mm-hmm,
And I was
mm-hmm.
out driving with my windows down. I was like, it's not even hot. I like triple checked. Like I checked I have a thermometer at home. I have something outside on my porch that tells me how hot it is. And I have like my phone, obviously.
Yeah.
And they both said 85. And I was like, I swear to Bob, like the heat is different here than in Minnesota. For some reason, somehow the middle of the country is more like humid or just weirder sun. Like the sun here feels like different.
It could. That makes sense. Like in Mexico, because there was a really nice breeze, even though I knew the sun was really, really hot, just how the humidity and stuff was like presenting itself made it so
Yeah,
that it
maybe
wasn't as hot. Because
maybe
like the
it's
worst
that.
heat I've ever experienced was Vegas.
Ick.
And it's like
Desert.
supposed to be dry. Everybody's like humid heat is worse. And I was like,
No.
but Vegas is dry as hell. And it was the worst thing I've ever experienced in my life.
The sun just feels different. I think maybe because I'm on the plains, it's like the wind. Though it is very windy here. It's very windy here. Like 70% of the days, it's like super windy here. I'm actually like still not used to it. I don't like it that much that it's so windy.
Oh yeah,
but
yeah, wind can be a mess.
But maybe that helps it cool off a little bit.
It would, yeah, it definitely would. Because like
sure.
if I had been in any situation in the temperature that it was in Mexico without that wind, it would have been like terrible. But like the wind coming off the ocean,
yeah, felt nice. You were like, you had your banana, whatchamacallit?
Daiquiri. It was delicious. Fucking good.
Hell yeah.
So good.
Speaking of Texas, there was some crazy shit happening last week with the Austin bomber.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
fam, that's only like 3 hours for me. Like,
yeah.
I didn't really follow up very much. I know he like blasted a bomb in his car while the FBI was closing in on him. Yeah. And then there was like this really long tape or recording that they found of him where he basically confessed to and described all of the bombs he made.
Yeah.
But I didn't follow up with it after that. Like, I still don't know why he did it. Did he ever say why he did it?
I would have missed that. All I was focused on was the fact that like they do that thing that they seem to do with people where they're like, let's not focus on the fact that he did something terrible. Let's be like, oh, family very confused as to why this and that. And like it's like this when it's an unknown person, they're like, this terrorist attack, this is racially motivated, blah blah blah. And they're like, oh, it was just a white kid.
Just this troubled white boy.
White boy. And I hate it. Like I get it. I think it's human nature to want to know why things are happening or the behind the scenes of things, but I think it's still important to really acknowledge the fact that it's.
I didn't really see.
You should be humanizing the victims because I like apparently with a boy that died because he shielded his mom. He realized something was weird and managed to get his mom out of the way. That she was in the hospital, but she's gonna be okay, and he died instead. Like those are the people that need to be focused on. Like focus on the people who lost their lives. Don't focus on the person who took the lives. That's always been my argument.
I think, I mean, that's really important, but I also like, just when stuff like that happens, you're just like, why would someone do that? And obviously a lot of the time there's not like, there's never a good reason.
Never a reason. And I think that's the thing here is that none of those articles were like looking into well, maybe they were, but for the most part, it was just like grandmother says blah, blah, blah about this. And it's like, I get why, like if you had a kid who did something like that, or had a family member who did something like that, and people came to talk about it, you're not going to be like, oh yeah, there was all these warning signs.
Saw it coming.
Yeah, mostly you're just going to be like, I'm so shocked.
But the media focuses on them a lot.
The media focuses on that like too much. I find at least lately, at least this year, that's been like the big thing.
Yeah, like especially with the Florida school shooter kid, like they're like. Well, he had like a lot of warning signs.
He did have a lot of warning signs. And at least in that case, I felt that the warning signs were at least a useful way to show how the system failed. Because there were so many opportunities to like stop that from happening.
Yeah.
And they failed. But but that was the same thing though. For like the first couple of days once they figured out who it was was just like going into deep detail about him. And it's like people lost their lives. There's people that are still fighting for their life right now in the hospital. There's people who were like heroes. There's people who shielded doors with their bodies that are like on life support in hospitals right now trying to like fight for survival. And you're focusing on the person, he already did it. It's done.
Yeah.
Like
it's just sad. Did you hear, was it, man, I hate like bringing in like powered down info because I like know half the information. I can't think of where this happened, but did you hear about the one this week where this kid brought a gun to school and like shot his girlfriend or ex-girlfriend?
Was it in Massachusetts?
Yeah. And like she lived at first, but then she had to be put on life support and now they've had to take her off of it.
Yeah, that's so sad.
Oh, so like guys, there's gotta be a better way than like shooting your ex-girlfriend.
No, that's what I mean.
It's so
just
sad.
Like, yeah, that situation, they're looking into it right now because they want to know how easy it was for him to steal the gun from his stepdad or his dad.
Yeah.
One of the two. And they want to know if it was like, did he actually manage to just like really sneakily get the key or something? Or was it just negligently locked, like kept somewheres?
Yeah, you gotta have it safed up.
Secured. But yeah, no, it's...
Don't know, man. Safes have like a code and not a key? Or...
A lot of them. It depends. If it's an older one, you might just have a padlock on something. Some of them you might have like a keypad. The keypad,
how do you get like an easy accessible safe? So if someone starts breaking in my house, I can go get it.
Fingerprint. Hand.
That's what I want.
Opens gun. There you go.
I am for safe gun ownership, by the way, or responsible gun ownership. I'm for common sense laws. Do you want to? I don't know. Well, I guess we're just going to echo each other a lot, so we'll just bring it up. But I do think it's really awesome what all these kids are doing in the march this week. I think like even I had people like in my Twitch chat, they were like, "What do you think about like the gun ban?" I'm like, they're not wanting a gun ban. They want like better laws, and I think like, I mean, as someone who like enjoys guns and enjoys going to shoot them, and I want one like for my personal home defense, like I am for responsible gun ownership and common sense laws. I don't think that I should be able to just go get an AK-47 or whatever. I don't feel that I need that, even for sport. I don't think that the Second Amendment was written with the AK-47 in mind.
No, or the AR-15.
Yeah,
or,
I should say AR-15 instead of AK-47.
Yeah,
AK-47 just looks cooler.
I know, like all of these guns, and I think that's the issue. And people are just gonna they're gonna hold on to that, be like, it's my born right. And I'm like, I'm not trying to take that right away from you.
Yeah, I still want guns.
I'm just saying that the way that you guys handle your gun system is stupid and is clearly a major contributing factor to the things that are happening in your country. If people had to take classes to learn how to safely and properly use gun, you'd see less accidental shootings. In states that have cracked down on gun usage and like what people can get access to guns, domestic violence and domestic murders have gone down significantly. Like, the data is there to support it. And I have no problem with people having their guns. No problem with people using guns. I am just like, in Canada, you have to take a class. You have to be licensed.
Yeah, I think I think they should be regulated in the same way that cars are regulated.
Exactly.
And there's not even like a freaking amendment about cars. So,
because that's always the argument. People are like, cars kill more people than guns, but you don't license those. I'm like, yeah, you do. You have to go take a class to prove that you have to prove it, that you can drive the car before they give you the license. So maybe you should have to prove you can shoot the gun, clean the gun, and disassemble the gun before you own the gun.
Yeah.
Like, I honestly, when I found out that wasn't just common practice, I was so confused, because like that just seems like such a, I get that it's a right for you guys to have them, but like
in Minnesota, I was going to get one, but I didn't want to because I had to move, and I just didn't want to like move my gun or whatever.
Yeah.
I was shocked at how easy it was. I was like, so I just fill this out and like you wait a little bit and then we're good. Yeah. It's okay.
Yeah. Somebody said that they were a fan of something like you would have to wait like a week before you'd be able to buy it, and that would like give you, say, if you were trying to commit a crime of passion, that would give you a week to cool off, or that would give somebody a week to look into your background. And I think that that's a potentially good idea, because a lot of the times people buy guns and then immediately go commit crimes.
I read a really messed up book kind of framed with that when I was a teenager. It was this guy who it was called Waiting Period. It was this guy who was going to commit suicide. And apparently in the book they had 30-day waiting period. And so the book was all about like how at first he still wanted to do it. And I think like towards the end he was like, nah, fam.
Yeah,
this was like years ago that I read this, so I'm sorry if I'm forgetting.
That sounds really familiar.
Waiting period, but
because and honestly, that's a good idea too, because that's another thing. A lot of people buy guns to kill themselves, and if that option is not there for them to have to force themselves to have clarity to really consider the situation, then and that kind of sucks, because honestly, the number of people who've survived jumping off the Golden Gate Bridge have said that they regretted it basically like the second they were in the air.
Yeah.
So it's like, how many people, and then there's so many cases where you hear people taking a bunch of pills wanting to kill themselves, and then they realize that they don't, and then sometimes it's too late, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So like, it's a pretty common thing to like not actually want to complete it, and then so having that being forced to wait can only be a benefit for like numerous reasons.
Yeah, I think especially like if it's your first time, I think that could be something that they could look at.
Yeah, maybe if you already, if you already have guns and never had any on your record and good and clean, maybe, sure, you come in, we'll do a background check. We'll just make sure it's like you're not amassing too many for whatever reason, because I think they look into stuff like that too.
I don't think they do, man. That Vegas shooter had like 30 of them shits.
Yeah, but they said that he did like weird things to get them and modified them. But either way, maybe just look into stuff like that. But if you've already bought like a handful of guns, you've got clean record, no blips, then sure, same day walk out. But first time buying a gun, make it so that it takes a little bit of time.
I mean, and if you look at America, there's a shitload of gun owners and a shitload of good gun owners. There's way more good gun owners that they mean well. They're just trying to protect themselves or their family, or they're exercising their right. Like, I totally get it. And it does suck that the small minority ruins the system, or ruins it to the point where we have to have a system that affects all those good gun owners. But like for me, like if I want to get my car, I have to go through all these steps to register it and do that. If I want to get my gun, I will go through whatever I got to do it. I don't mind doing it. So.
And I think education can only help, like just knowing how to properly service your firearm, knowing how to because some people don't. Some people
I don't know how to clean them. I'm gonna buy it and not know how to clean it. I mean, I'm gonna go like take classes with it, but like
That's good though, but the average person might never take a class.
Yeah.
So that equation should be taken out. It should be you are forced to take a class.
Like, I plan to go shoot it, often, so I know how to operate it and everything.
Oh, absolutely. But
I don't know, man. It's so weird. I feel like I'm a fence sitter on it because I do think that I should be able to have like a shotgun and a pistol and a hunting rifle. But on the other hand, I'm not a fan of like civilians, like especially here in Texas. Open carry here is like totally normal. Like,
yeah, I know.
I saw like this guy like with a pistol hanging out of his back pocket in a hotel lobby, and I was like, I am not in Minnesota anymore.
Yeah, and like that's so weird because if I saw that, I'd be scared. I'd probably call the cops and be like,
I don't feel scared when I see people like that, unless we were in like a weird area, like a bar, and they were drinking. I'd be like, get away from me, bro.
If it was like holstered, I wouldn't be. Was it holstered or just in his back pocket? It was
literally in his back pocket.
That would scare me. And that's what I mean. That shouldn't be allowed. It's like, yeah, you can have it anywhere you want. Properly affixed in a holster around your belt. Like,
I was like, what?
Doesn't having it just in your back pocket, that has to be a violation of something. That
probably,
can't be normal.
But I know what I saw, and he had a cowboy hat on and everything, no bullshit.
Damn,
so
he's gonna sit and shoot his butt off. Like,
I know, he's gonna cheddar bob himself.
Jeez, he is gonna cheddar bob himself.
I don't know, man. Let us know what you guys think down in the comments. Oof. Agree, disagree. Obviously, be civil if you're getting into back and forth with people. Just try to be civil. Like, I could talk to anybody about it, I think, and be like, yeah, okay, I don't necessarily agree, but like, I could see why you'd think that. Here's, statistics or reasons that I think, and where this all came from too is I just think it's awesome that all these kids that feel passionately about it,
and they're making changes. They're actually they're helping things change.
And like, if you want no gun laws, maybe, I mean, you don't really have to go march for your amendment that you already have, but maybe go march for stuff that you believe in. I think it's really cool, Yeah. I didn't feel passionately enough to like go, and I didn't know anybody, like any of these kids at the march, so I didn't want to like go and just be like, hi. But like, I do support them like online and everything. So cool, fam. Cool. Before we end the podcast, it's 2:00 right now. It's been about 2 hours since I had my last juice.
Okay.
So I might drink my beet juice at the end here.
I'm real excited for that.
We'll see how that goes. I've never had beet juice in my life.
Dwight screwed it up.
I'm about to Dwight it up.
Yeah.
Did we have one other topic that we wrote down? Or no?
Depends what we want. I have some advice questions. We were going to talk maybe about the Nazi pug situation, but I don't know if you want to get into that or.
I mean, I just think it's bullshit what's happening to him. What country is that in again?
Ireland?
Scotland. I think it's Scotland.
Maybe it's the UK. Like Either way.
It's somewhere over there.
Over there. And
we're dumb North Americans.
I think it's Scotland, actually, now that you're mentioning it. I feel
Scotland. Like it is. If y'all don't know the situation, he basically like, I mean, they were very messed up jokes. Like, it's not cool to say that stuff, but he was making like basically Nazi jokes because his girlfriend thought their pug or their dog was so cute and nothing could ever like make the dog not cute. So he just basically made a bunch of Nazi jokes about the dog being a Nazi and everything.
Because he was like, what is the least cute, worst thing I can think of? And it was like a Nazi. And sure, some of the jokes went a little bit far.
They were pretty far jokes, but he is right. Far. The least cute, cool, grossest thing ever is like that idealism, right? So so he got not convicted, sentenced.
He's convicted, but he hasn't been sentenced yet.
He hasn't been. He's convicted of a crime that he could serve up to like how long again?
It was a while. Long ass time.
Just for like talking shit on YouTube, basically.
And it's been going on for so long. He hasn't been able to have a job the entire time this has been happening, and it's just like completely messed up his life. And people here make jokes like that every 2 seconds on the internet, like literally. And people, and worse than that, there are people who publicly say things like, "I want to kill this person because of the color of their skin. I want to kill this person because of their sexual orientation." Like all sorts of weird things, or like their gender identity, like all sorts of stuff like that. People actively saying, I want to kill this person because of X reason. And all good. Somebody makes a joke.
All good. About their dog.
To the worst thing that they could think of. Not like, even if he did say like, even if he was someone who's like, I'm a white supremacist, this is my Nazi dog. He'd be like, this is disgusting. But is it worse?
My Nazi dog.
So like, are you going to convict that person? No, you might try to get them some psychiatric help. But like, I think Philip DeFranco said something like, it just seems like he's being convicted because the judge didn't get the joke or something. Like he didn't understand that it was supposed to be comedic purposes.
Yeah,
and it's they're trying to make an example. Like I feel like a lot of times
he did go wrong in posting on YouTube. I think I would have not did that.
Yeah, but like there's worse things on YouTube. I could look on YouTube right now and find something worse than that.
For sure.
Logan Paul, like come on, like I could look online and find something worse than that in a second. Also related to Nazis, like I could find something worse than that immediately.
Yeah.
And he's being convicted.
The country he's from, I guess. Maybe they just have really strict laws, or like you said, the judge.
PewDiePie. If PewDiePie lived in Scotland, would he have been actually convicted of a crime? Like,
Maybe.
would he? Like, that's what I mean. It's crazy. It's insane that
it doesn't make any sense.
I think it's a judge is trying to make a point. Judges sometimes like making historical rulings, so they go down in history as something. So oftentimes they will just make really stupid, rash decisions and things that just don't make sense.
Yeah.
To be like, I'm the one who did this. I'm the first person who did this.
Yeah.
So I think it might be one of those situations.
I don't know, man. I hope he like figures it out or gets some. If he's just about to be sentenced,
appeal,
then it could
or
be.
Maybe it's like, I'm hoping that the sentencing is something like community service.
Yeah,
or just like something stupid, like something like that. Like
he has to take the dog to a day spa or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
there you
sorry. Go. Sorry. Like, oh my goodness.
Speaking of dog,
crazy.
I don't know how hype you are for this game or if you're interested, but Far Cry 5 comes out tomorrow and you can have a dog named Boomer. And yeah, the game looks cool. Like Far Cry gets me every freaking time, man. The last one I only played for like 2 hours, spent the $60, played it for like 2 hours.
But you're still hyped for this one.
I am, because the last one's like they had you going to all these different towers to like do all this shit. It's like kind of repetitive. I just don't like that. But apparently that's different this time. And there's a dog, and it takes place in America. And America. God bless. It actually looks really sick. So I'll be playing that tomorrow on stream.
Nice.
Twitch.tv/MiDNiTE. I don't know if I'll upload much of it to YouTube. Maybe like highlights, funny moments.
Yeah, might as well.
I have something funny happens with my
dog.
There's
usually something funny that happens in that game, honestly.
Yeah, for sure. Are you looking forward to any games, or are you just like...
I just like pretty much cruise it with games, you know? I'm looking forward to the second Last of Us, whenever that finally gets out to coming around.
God of War is in a month.
Yeah, I'm actually excited for that. But I'm weird. I don't like playing story games on stream.
Oh, that's right.
I just don't like it for some reason.
I love it.
I feel like it takes away from my ability to have my very good one-on-one conversation with the chat. So I just rock a lot of multiplayer games.
True. So I think the chat likes when I play single player though, because they like feel like, especially if you have to choose shit to do, they like to be a part of that.
Yeah, that's why I want to go through Until Dawn again, because I've already played it, so I feel like I've experienced the story. I don't have to worry if I miss little things here and there, and then they can make decisions and stuff. So I want to do stuff like that. And I have the South Park game, the new one that I was have to.
Oh my god, how haven't I played that yet? I still need to play that.
Same, I have it, and I just haven't opened it yet.
I need to play that still.
Yeah.
Red Dead, bro. New Call of Duty. What do you think? Oh, we gotta talk about Modern Warfare 2 real quick.
Oh yeah.
Bro.
Bruh.
So everyone's freaking out because it got leaked. There's a Modern Warfare 2 campaign coming out, right?
Yeah, but not the multiplayer.
It doesn't say not multiplayer. It just says only campaign.
Well, didn't MWR do the same thing? They basically came out saying it was, and then they were
yes, but no. So basically, the reason this is a PR shit show is because MWR was announced by Activision, and they said, "Okay, this is how it's gonna happen." Now Activision hasn't said shit.
It's Charlie Intel.
Yeah, well, it's like all these sources, and Charlie Intel just reports. Charlie Intel's like the CNN of COD. Yeah, and exactly. So basically, it got leaked that there's this campaign edition that's going to go on sale. And, like, obviously, I was too upset about that. Like, obviously, I want to play Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer. My channel was, like, in 2010. Like, that's when I started. And I did Modern Warfare 2. Like,
yeah. From here, I felt Hitch's heart break. Like, I saw that online, and I was like, I just felt Hitch die.
No, because there's no way they make that with no multiplayer. Like, there's no way.
Because nobody would care about the story mode.
Nobody cares.
Okay, yeah, no, that one did have a great story.
It did.
No
it has
Russian,
a good
no
campaign.
Russian.
No Russian.
But like,
I feel uncomfortable playing no Russian. I'm gonna be real.
I know, it's crazy
it's
now.
Really
like, how could you imagine them? Could you imagine them like releasing that? Like, it just
I think the whole climate is different now. I mean, I don't want them to censor the game.
Mm-hmm.
But it definitely needs to have a very forward and upfront option that lets people know that that's a mission and they should be able to skip it. Or I wouldn't be surprised if they took it out all the way.
See, but taking it all the way is letting the Russians win, Ashley.
I know, because it's actually like it builds the story. It makes you angry at the Russians. I get it, but like still in the current climate, going into an airport with a gun and mowing down civilians is kind of like a bad look for your game right now.
But it was a bad look when it came.
Maybe
it was a bad look when it came.
It was a bad look when it came out, but it wasn't near as bad of a look as it'll be right now in 2018 at the height of this controversy that we just like talked about. Remember,
everything sucks. Everything
no multiplayer.
No, they have to have multiplayer. It would make more sense not to release the campaign and only release multiplayer.
Yeah,
because that would piss less people off.
When I saw that it was $25, I was like, okay, there's no way there's multiplayer in a $25 thing. No. So, I don't know. Like I said, maybe Activision is clueless and they are going to have just the campaign. They're like, look at this little treat, guys. But like, there's no way. Like, they love money. They have the resources to do a Modern Warfare 2 remaster. Why would they only do half of it? There's going to be multiplayer. And this is what I said.
Splitting it into two parts so that the campaign comes out first. Then they're going to release the multiplayer for a second price point and then charge you extra.
Exactly, Amanda. That's how
they love
roll.
Money.
They love money. Blah, blah, blah. So, and I said this, I don't know if I said this on the podcast, but I definitely said it in my streams last year. Like when, you know how MWR came out with IW? Obviously, that was a whole different shit show because like IW... Did you just hear that?
No.
The like something got unplugged or someone joined our call.
No, it wasn't on mine. It was on your end.
Okay, sorry, podcast. Sorry,
everything's still going.
Everything looks like it's still going, but yeah, it did make the sound like something unplugged.
That was definitely on your end.
You know that sound?
Yeah, I do. I know 100%.
Sorry if you were listening and thought that was your own computer or whatever, but yeah. So I was like, why don't they release like a main COD and then in the summertime, cut it up and boom. A remaster comes out. It kicks it back up for the summertime. Like, I have so many summertime memories playing Modern Warfare 2. Like, I would always go back to playing it in the summertime just because I have so many good, like, memories with the game. And so, like...
Yeah.
And now this year, it's really weird. Like, COD's coming out, like, almost a full month early. I think to compete with Red Dead.
Yeah, I think so. Which is a weird thing to try to go against because they're very different games.
Well, no, it makes sense. That's a huge blockbuster release from Rockstar, and it might even, I don't know if Battlefield's doing anything this fall or what.
Ooh, I don't know.
But it might have something to do with like other shooters that are coming out at the time too, because I don't think they're doing Destiny this year, so maybe they feel like they can release COD a little earlier.
True.
So yeah, it's like interesting. So that means like, I don't know, man, like... And I noticed, like, you can just tell, like, where they pool their advertising. Like, it went from, like, as soon as the game came out, they were like, yeah, there's going to be DLC in January, DLC in January, DLC in January. So that comes out, and now it's like, I don't even know if there's more DLC soon or not.
I know.
Like, what's happening?
So lame.
I mean, they added, like, the shipment content and the Lucky Charms type of...
That was funny.
St. Patrick's Day. Yeah. They need to do more shit like that. Like, I think for COD, like, if you look at Fortnite is killing it with content in their game, and it's free.
It's free. It was the side game. It was like game mode in.
I don't even have to like open 50 supply drops to try to get that new heavy shotgun. I just have to hope I get it in a chest or kill somebody that has it. Like, obviously, there's two completely different types of games, but I think that other games could take notes with how Fortnite's doing it.
Call of Duty stifles itself by releasing a new game every single year. It worked for it back in the day, but now it's like it's hurting it long term.
Especially competitive.
It's destroying competitive because like no competitive game works that way except for this one. Like literally think of every other competitive game you can, and even the ones that used to have regular releases at least had like a 2 or 3 year cycle in between games.
Yeah, it's got to have like a longer cycle, or the competitive community just needs to decide like with this next COD, like if this Treyarch COD is good competitively. I mean, I don't think Activision will ever go for it.
But you'd have to break away from Activision. And I don't know if they would like
You can't. They own
MLG
now. They own.
Yeah, exactly.
They own
so
Big
like,
Daddy. Yeah.
You can't, and that's what I mean. So they're always going to want to push the new game. So
I think that, I mean, obviously the Call of Duty formula, I think maybe they could have it formulated a certain way where it's consistent in certain ways, but then different in others, and it would cause teams to have to adapt. But
yeah,
I don't know, man. It's hard to say. It's hard to say like what the right way to do it is.
It's hard when games were created without that competitive thing in mind, and then you do things a certain way for so long that you're trying to adapt to so many different people's needs that you can't. It's physically impossible to give everybody everything they want in one game. And like, that's what Call of Duty tries to do. It's not like an Overwatch that when it came out, it was like, yeah, sure, we have stuff for casual people, but they knew right out the gate that they were hitting up competitives. They knew, like, before that game even came out, when the beta was still live, people were creating their competitive rosters and stuff. Like, there's just certain games that hit the ground running like that, and Call of Duty was not that game.
Yeah, it just kind of built itself up in like a different way.
Yeah, it built into one of those games, which is fine, but it's now left into a position where you're trying to appease casual fans, pro players, aspiring pros, game battle people, snipers, run and gunners, pub stompers. Like, you're trying to please so many different people that it's like impossible to hit everything that you need.
Yeah. I think one way that they can hit both of the zones, like the casual and the competitive, is good maps. I think that World War II does not have good enough maps, but if you look at the Call of Duties it did, like Black Ops 2, Black Ops 2, that's my home, that's why you my duo. Yeah, Black Ops 2, Modern Warfare 2, COD 4, like those competitive maps in that game are also the pub stompers' favorite maps.
Exactly, because they just work for everything. It has nice, and the same thing with it's the snipers' favorite matches too, because it has good lanes for everything. It has like good line of sights for snipers, but not too many places where people can't avoid where the line of sight is for snipers, so it doesn't annoy people too much. Like, it's good. It's good for everybody.
I think that Treyarch, I don't know, I feel like this next year with Treyarch is like the make or break year. And I felt that almost like the last 2 years, but this year especially. Like Black Ops 3 was actually really good. As much as people didn't like the jetpack futuristic stuff, they actually did a really great job with that game. Yeah.
There's stuff I really don't like about it, but for the, like, it was a good game.
They had good streaks, pretty good maps.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't even care what time period Black Ops 4 is in. Do you?
Oh, yeah. Same.
Do you care the time period? I don't either. I don't care if it's boost jumps. I don't care if it's boost on the ground.
Yeah.
I do want to know what they mean about forget everything you know. Like, what? Because I know a lot of shit. I've been playing COD for 10 years, so how do I forget all that? I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see. I'm excited.
Maybe they mean forget everything you know about the Black Ops series, because this is going to throw it on its face.
Don't do that, though. I don't want that, because Black Ops is so good.
It is.
So you can't forget how good it is.
Like, story-wise. Like, maybe it's like one of these things, like, you thought you knew what was happening in the Black Ops stories? Well, Black Ops 4 is going to change your mind.
Well, I think that, like, the Black Ops stories never really go together.
No, very
like the
rarely.
same way that Modern Warfare series goes together.
Exactly, because there's such large gaps in between each
Activision,
cycle.
Here's how to save COD. Are you ready? All right. Release Modern Warfare 2, remastered, campaign, and then multiplayer for this summer. All right? Let's kick ass. Let's get that. Put the supply drops in there. Give me some cool skins for my UMP. Let's get this going. I want an intervention skin. I want to look cool while I'm on terminal. Do that.
Feel free to offer people things for also having World War II, so you can encourage people to have both games still if you're all set on making money on everything.
Exactly. Okay. Yep. And then come out with Black Ops 4, kill it. DJ Vaughn comes in like, yes, bitch, yes. Okay, everybody's happy. I'm sure Black Ops 4 is going to be great. Yeah. And then summer next year. What are we doing? World at War Remastered.
You had me until that.
What?
I like World at War, but I want Black Ops 2 so bad, and Black Ops 2 can't come out until they do Black Ops 1 again. So I need them. And then
so you think it should be Black Ops 1 remaster instead of Black Ops or World at War?
Yeah, because they won't do Black Ops 2 before they do Black Ops 1, and I need Black Ops 2. Ashley, I need it real bad.
I agree. All right, Activision, so pick one of those two, probably Black Ops 1, okay, because it'll be close to 10 years, right, by that point, maybe? Yeah. No. Not it would be.
Yeah, it would be.
And so then IW, what you been doing over there? You make a Modern Warfare 4? Yes, Queen. Slay.
Yes,
Put Modern
Queen.
Warfare 4. Let me be Price. Let's do some throwback stuff. Make it a prequel. I don't know what you're gonna do. I don't know how that would even be possible because then it wouldn't be modern. But like, okay,
do it.
Modern Warfare 4, and then the summer of Modern Warfare 4, AW remaster.
No, because that's why we're messed up because MWR was an infinite. Oh yeah, because if they do MW2 this year, it comes out on a Sledgehammer rotation.
Yeah, this is weird,
so
bro. I think they gotta do them, and you know what it would be? You know what it would be?
Oh, no.
Modern Warfare 3 remastered.
No,
so many people
I
want
need
it.
Black Ops 2 before MW3.
Think about it. Okay, think about it. They have made Black Ops. They've made every COD backwards compatible except for Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3. Why?
Well, you know what? I don't have I have a PlayStation, so I can't play Black Ops 2. If I could play Black Ops 2 on my PlayStation 4, I wouldn't care. But if I try to play it on
you
PS3,
would care.
My account gets hacked.
Trust me. You would like Black Ops 2 remastered because
I would. I definitely would.
It's bad to play. There's hacked lobbies. They don't like when you stream it. There's like a Black Ops 2 community that hates streamers. They'll like do the sign out glitch to you. It's horrible.
Yeah, no, my account. I played Black Ops 2 one day, and luckily it was my old account got hacked overnight.
Damn. Yeah, that happened to me. I had to make a barcode gamer tag just to play. I love Black Ops 2.
Me too.
You know what sucks? Black Ops 2 is like the girlfriend that you have where like she's just fucking perfect and then it never works out and then everyone you date after like sucks.
They suck.
That's Black Ops 2.
Yeah. And then you just live your life being like, man, why couldn't it work out? And then like years down the road, someone was like, nah, they were really into you, but like just like they had to peace out and you're just left wanting it so badly.
I love you, Vandahar.
No, we love you so much.
We love Black Ops 2. Maybe that's a problem. I'm comparing all these new CODs to Black Ops 2 and I just gotta face the fact.
No, that's the standard. They can get there again, or they can at least get close to it.
Black Ops 3 is the closest. I thought World War II would be the closest, and it is because it's on the ground.
Yeah.
But Black Ops 3 is the closest.
Yeah, I really enjoy World War II. I think it lacks a lot of content, but I do really enjoy streaming.
I like the game.
I have a good time.
There's two major problems with World War II. And if y'all recall my streams before World War II, I was like, okay, what's going to tell me if it's a good game or not is going to be the maps and the streaks. The streaks are not very cool at all. No. Most of them suck. I don't know if it's because they're World War II era or just because it's Sledgehammer, because I feel like AW had some decent streaks in it. Yeah. And the maps, like a majority of the maps are trash. London Docks, great. Saint, great. What's the new one? It's the movie with Tom Cruise. Valkyrie, great.
I don't like Valkyrie.
The movie? Oh, the map.
The map.
Do you like the movie with Tom Cruise?
I can't remember it.
It's amazing. He's like a German
I really don't
officer.
Like Tom Cruise.
I love Tom Cruise.
He's insane.
Edge of
Tomorrow.
I
can see it. I can see it in his acting.
I can
Edge
too.
of Tomorrow I do like.
Edge of Tomorrow. That's all I gotta say.
That's a good one. That's a good movie. No disagreements there. It's a good
movie. Tom Cruise, no. I like Tom Cruise. I saw, what was he
he's
last
like
year?
Certifiably insane. Like people that have like escaped Scientology who were like celebrities who are close enough to him have been like, he is actually a terrible person. Like he is the worst person.
I believe it. I don't know. Sometimes I can separate the work from the person. Sometimes I can't. Like one person I can't separate.
See it on him.
One person I can't separate is Chris Brown. I just can't fuck with Chris Brown. I just don't.
Lil Dicky just did a song with him and I'm like, you could have had one, Lil Dicky.
I know.
Anyone.
Like, you do not want to be Chris Brown for a day, Lil Dicky.
You don't want to be Chris Brown for a day. You do not want to be in the body with the hands who could do that to Rihanna. You don't want that.
I mean, I don't know. I think it's not even just that he did that, although that is terrible. But, like, it's how everything happened afterwards and how he acted.
Thank you. And, like, everybody's just like, oh, you know, he was young. And I'm like, this wasn't, like, a slap across the face or, like, a one punch. He, like, brutalized
if you read, like, the transcripts of her, like, describing it to the police, I think it's the police report. Yeah. Or was it her call to 911? Maybe both. But, like, yeah, it's horrible.
Terrifying. Once people were like, well, she forgave him. And I'm like, yeah, tons of abused people forgive their abusers and then die. Yeah, like it's actually really common because just because she forgave him doesn't mean I have to forgive him.
Nope. For those of you listening, Amanda just did the finger wag and like threw it, like
and snapped it out.
Snapped it out. Yep.
Yeah, because I love Lil Dicky, but I was like, dude, why?
Yes, I was so looking forward to his song, and then I was like,
and then I was
like it couldn't have been more disappointing for me.
I know, and then everybody thinks it's Chris Brown's song, and I'm like,
yes,
give my man Lil Dicky his props.
I will say, I'm assuming that Lil Dicky wrote most of it, and I love.
Oh, he did, yeah.
And I love the music video. I think Lil Dicky's really funny, and I'm looking forward to his album still. But I'm not a fan of Chris Brown.
Not at all. Not a fan.
It's not a good look for your female demo.
Lil
Dicky.
That's the.
I'm sure a lot of girls were
gonna leave you. Yeah, because people forgot about it. People love Chris Brown, but
true.
You know, but yeah, that would be my advice to you, Little Dicky, is steer clear, but like want to see if we can give some advice to some other people.
Yeah, there you go, Amanda, with a segue. Let's give some advice, Amanda. Here
because we got some advice questions.
Yes,
we got a few.
All right, pick a good one or a good couple, whatever. We always round out the podcast with some advice. So
okay,
here we go.
So let's see. I absolutely hate my job. Being here every day literally just puts me in a worse mood. I feel like I'm depressed all the time, and I'm just in general sad when I'm here. But I'm here for another 2 years with this job, military. People treat each other like trash. They talk to you like you are worth nothing, and it's just a terrible work environment. I try and be the best supervisor I can for my younger boys, but I'm burnt out. The thing I look forward to every day is watching YouTube videos or playing a video game for an hour just to have my mind escape for a while. I guess what I'm asking is, what do you think I can do to try to make these next 2 years easier? If you could keep my email anonymous, I appreciate that. I didn't say any names.
Keep playing them games, and maybe like the other people that you're working with that you like can interact in a positive way with, continue to do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, with the military, it sucks. If it was any other job, I'd say like do everything in your power to find another job right away. If you have any amount of money that's saved, like back out. I've had friends in the military that have been able to leave due to like, or at least work on an exit plan due to like mental anguish and like mental things. Is that something that you can like push towards, to be like, my life here is so mentally taxing that I am not a good person? Or is that going to mess you up in the long run? Because like if it's getting as bad as you say it is, 2 years is a really long time. But if you do got to suck it up, I would definitely say, you focus on your YouTube videos and your video games. If there's like a passion, if something that you're really into that you've always wanted to learn, and you can while you're there. I don't know if you're like stateside or if you're stationed elsewhere. But if there's a way that you can like pick up a hobby and it's just something that you can put your time into when you're at home, that at least gives you like a creative outlet to focus on something that you enjoy more. Yeah. I think that's like the big thing.
That sounds like a terrible situation. I feel bad for them. But yeah, just like whenever I've been in like a bad situation, I'm like, all right, let me just focus on things that make me happy. Focus on like things that bring me positive energy. Mm-hmm. And like you said, like if you're a supervisor and you're in charge maybe of some other folks, maybe try to relate with them more. Yeah. Or if they also are like, yeah, man, this place sucks. Like, maybe try to do things that make it a little bit better.
Maybe kind of like, I don't even know, like funner get-togethers at the end of the week or something, or whenever, like obviously military people, things work different, but if there's ever a time that people have like time off or something, try to do something fun. Just try to go out there and do things that you don't normally do. Like, again, I don't know if you're stationed at home type thing or if you're somewhere overseas, but if you can like take time to go do other things. Cause I have friends that are stationed and hate it, but they get like passes to go out places for a day or something. Just like take advantage of any of those that you can, just to like experience wherever you are. I think that can make a big difference.
Yeah, for sure.
But that's a rough one. Because
because
I know with the military, it's like a contract and like you owe them that time, and there's not much you can do to get out of it. Yeah, there's not much you can do to get out of it.
It's hard to be like, hey, by the way, I'm mentally not. I mean, I don't know how the military works with that. Like
sometimes it's like, yeah, we'll work on your exit strategy, but then it's some kind of discharge, and I think it's dishonorable, but maybe it's not, because
you don't want to be any of that if you're working this hard.
And again, it might work different in different places, but I'm very sorry that is not a fun situation.
Sending you love, man or woman.
Yeah, sending you love.
Person, human meme.
You're human meme. All right. Next question. I've never really asked for advice. I haven't really had a relationship before. I could have in 2016, but failed to make a move. Been on Tinder since that night in 2016. We saw Deadpool, by the way, and have had no luck. Should I keep trying on Tinder, or should I delete the app and just go out more and meet more people?
Tinder sucks.
Both. No, both.
Amanda's for Tinder.
Both.
For single people.
I've never even gone on a date with someone from Tinder, but like Tinder lets you know, one, where people like to hang out. It puts you out there. It gives you a general idea of what's going on in the dating market. And I know it's harder from a guy's side.
How do you see where they're hanging out? You told me that happens. I can't see shit.
Well, sometimes they don't do it, but like when you match with people, they can post statuses being like, I'm out here. And they probably don't in bigger cities because it would be creepy to have some random person knowing where you are. But like when you start talking to people, you might just be like, oh, where do you spend your time? Blah, blah, blah. And they're like, oh, I go to this really cool barcade down here. And you're like, oh my God, I didn't know there was a barcade there. And so that even if you guys don't hit it off that way, you at least know where people that are aligned with your interests are hanging out. I would say keep Tinder, work on your profile. Sometimes it's a profile thing. If anything in your profile says like, I'm a nice guy, but people just pass me up.
Don't put that. Don't put it.
Take it out.
Get it out of it. Even if you are. Even if it's true.
Doesn't matter.
Nobody likes to read that.
Take it out.
Get it out of there.
Something like funny or witty, just something interesting that
I don't have anything funny in mind.
Yeah, but you don't have to. Just put something that aligns with like your interest that you think is going to attract the type of people you might like. And then if you match with somebody, ask them a question right away. Don't just go with like a hey, but ask them something interesting. I think my old roommate goes with if you could master any instrument instantly, what instrument would it be? And then that kind of gets you in a conversation mode. Or if you could visit anywhere, it's just something like that. You don't necessarily have to do that. You can probably play it chill. Or obviously if they have like a cool picture of something, you can ask them about it. That's always
like if they have a Dark Side of the Moon tattoo and you could be like, oh my God, I love Pink Floyd. And she'll be like, I don't really listen to him that much. I just like how it looks.
Yeah, that right there. But if you had just assumed that she liked Pink Floyd, like look where you've been. So like it's good that you asked. So that's what I mean. Sometimes it's good to ask about the pictures. So that's another thing. But then go out and do things. Go to like I know who this is, and this person has some kind of movie association. If you find somebody who's into movies, invite them to one of those movie things with you because you see them before the movie's out most of the time. Like if that's something you can bring a girl to and she likes movies, she's going to be down.
Oh, yeah, she's going to be like, this guy's a baller.
She's going to be down, exactly. Like you're like, oh, I'm like, that doesn't come out here until like next week. So like, so do that.
Do that. You want to know my Tinder game,
dude?
Here's my plan. Sure. This is what I'm doing lately.
Yeah, what's Ashley's Tinder game?
I'm only swiping mad hot chicks.
Do it.
So I can see if they match me back.
Hell yeah.
And they do that. But I know. Well, no. They match me back, and then I won't talk to them unless they message me.
That's every girl on Tinder. That's the issue where guys on Tinder typically end up having to do more work because girls refuse to answer first.
Yeah, but these are also other girls.
Exactly. So ain't nobody messaging nobody.
No, so they are though. Bro, can I read this? This is red flag alert so high right now. Let me tell you. I didn't even respond to this person because I was like, you're crazy. Okay, tell me, is this normal for me to be turned off by this? Sorry, this is turning into I need advice from Amanda. So this girl swipes me. There was one girl I was having a full-blown GIF conversation with, and we both like Broad City, and I actually like want to talk to her more, but I'm just like blah about it. But anyway, this girl, we match, like I said, only mad hot girls, and she said, "Hey, beautiful, heart eye emoji, heart eye emoji, heart eye GIF," and I was like, right. So I said, "Hey yo," and I put a GIF of a girl lowering her sunglasses, like, damn,
Ooh.
I said, and I said, how's life treating you? And she said, definitely better now that I get to talk to you, blow kiss. First of all, that's a catfish. Second of all, no. Anyone that comes on that strong.
That's somebody doing the do tactics. I see people for like guys messaging girls on Tinder and they go right into that stuff. And I'm like, could you be any more cringy?
Right. Like, am I weird for thinking that's like red flag? I didn't even respond back. I was like, you.
Nah,
like, I don't like that. I don't want it if it's that easy. You don't even know. Yeah, it's too much.
Yeah, that's somebody just looking for a hookup. That's somebody that they ain't looking for lasting.
I mean, maybe, but even then, like, I don't want it if it's that easy. Like, that's what Tupac said.
There you go.
I'm sticking with it. I want it on
just
a shirt.
Don't worry. Go talk to the Broad City chick. Go talk to that one.
I think I will. She was sending mad cool gifts.
Yeah, come on, Ashley. Get up.
gift games don't. I don't know. I'm still like not trying to date though. I don't know. I'm just not ready for all that.
No, that's fine.
It's too much work.
I think just being on Tinder is just kind of like a good thing.
Distraction.
Yeah.
Like fucking message this chick.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, person who's asked advice.
I hijacked your question.
Stay on Tinder, evaluate your profile, evaluate the kind of pictures you're using, and like sometimes that is the biggest issue. Sometimes it's really basic things, like things that you might think are just a normal thing to put there is like an immediate thing that a girl's going to be like,
Here's what you got to do. You got to take a variety, okay? So there's the first picture should always be a very nice facial, easy to tell it's you, face, eyes, smile.
Yeah, nobody else in your picture unless it's like an animal.
Like a portrait, okay? And then you want one where you're like outside doing an activity. You look like you're, you know those girls that always put, oh my God, love adventure. Go on an adventure in your Tinder profile. Be outside. Get your grandma to take a picture of you by that rock. Put that on there. And then now you got to bring her into your hobbies. You like to play Magic. You like to play games. Show you dropping the 50 bomb in rank play. Put the screen cap right there. Okay?
Yeah.
Now, are we still swiping right? We are, right? Of course.
Yeah.
Then you have a dog. Take a selfie with your dog or cat. They love that.
They do. And if they don't love that, that's not someone you want to be with anyways.
There you go. So ranked play scoreboard, cat, adventure, portrait. I just improved your Tinder game so much. You're welcome.
Yeah, like 100%. Like that is the key. And like
and then honestly, overused joke in the bio. You got this.
Yeah, there you go. So that's good. So both. The answer is both. Don't get rid of Tinder, but also yes, try to find real life situations to meet people.
How do you do that? Because like I'm bad at that.
You are.
Like I mean, I know I'm a gamer and I don't go outside, but like I'm in a new area. The only people I know are like, thank God I know all these people that I work with.
Yeah,
but it's like, even if we go out to like a bar or something, like I don't want to talk to anybody else. Like
that's your problem. You got to start doing the eyes. You got to start doing it. Okay.
Side note though, Amanda, can I just tell you? For me, I feel like I'm the only gay person out here. Okay, it's the only one. The nearest gay bar is 40 minutes away. Yeah, it's looking dry out here.
Oh, God.
Amanda the Jedi.
Okay, I will go. I'll be your wing person. Okay, but this is what you got to do when you're
at the bar. Wing person. I love it.
So you got to so you're chilling at the bar with your friends and you're like having a good time, having a drink, and then like, you're smiling and you're doing like that half smile, kind of like look, and you find that person that you think is interesting and you lock eyes.
Oh, shit.
And then if they're down, they'll lock eyes. And if they're like not down, they lock eyes. And then you just keep prowling.
Just keep staring. Don't break your stare.
But not in a creepy way. So you want to like be with your friends and like smiling and laughing, and then you kind of like scope out the area. And if you see somebody interesting that might be looking your way, you're kind of like, okay, you evaluate it, you do your thing, and then you look back. And if they're maybe looking at you again, like.
Side note, what if they work there? I always like the people that work places.
You do.
I don't know why. I don't know why. There was this hostess at this place, and I was like, holy shit, how do I talk to you? But I can't because you're working.
Yeah, that's a little bit different. I feel like you can have conversations with them. It's technically, especially bartenders, it's their job to be nice to you. But I like to think that you're a well-adjusted person. You can tell the difference between somebody being nice and somebody being interested.
Dude.
But that because they're the employee, the power goes in their hand. You can maybe make kind of one witty comment, being like commenting about how you just can't find anybody interesting, and then you can just kind of make one comment about giving them your number or something, and then if they shoot it down, then you're like, cool, and you just kind of go about your business, because you actually have a benefit typically, especially if it's just because you're like, this is a terrible thing to say, but because you're a girl, people are less likely to be creeped out about it unless they're homophobic. But I also think you could be able to read the situation of whether or not
you got there's a couple of check marks that have to happen. Sometimes even still, I can't tell if they're straight. I'm like, I don't know, man. It's too much.
No, that's a struggle. That's a huge that is a huge issue. But like, I feel like if they're the employee, that puts the onus on them, because like
I talked to this girl up in this tree. I went to go do Go Abe ziplining.
Yes, I love that.
Yeah, you fucking need to come down here. There's Amanda, you need to live here. I'm just saying. Please move to Frisco, Texas. Please. Okay.
You talk to Donald Trump.
Okay. I'll ask him. Be like, yo, D.
Yo, Donnie.
I'll tweet him right now. I'm verified. He might see it.
There you go. It's true.
He does look at Twitter a lot.
He really does.
It's disturbing. I mean, I do too.
Yes,
so,
but there's a difference.
I am not the president.
You are not the president of the United States.
I can just picture him like scrolling in his bed.
I know, exactly. Just
anyway, I'm in the top of this tree. I'm doing this ropes course for those of you guys that don't know, and I was about to do this big like swing into this net, and there was a couple things that had to happen, so they had to have a person up there to make sure all that went smooth and I didn't die. And it was this girl, and it was pretty windy. And so I was like, fuck, man, I don't remember what I said, but I thought she was kind of cute. I was like, man, what did I say, Jedi? I was like,
were you like, oh, we died?
No. I was like, can you check my harness, please? No, I didn't say that. But I was like, what's it like spending all day up here and stuff? And she got to talking. It was so easy. All you have to do is ask one question, and a girl will just go off, bro. Exactly. She started talking about the wind and how some days they have this whole way to measure the wind, and this one day it was like just under the severe thing, and she thought she was like gonna die, and I was like, oh my god, that's so crazy, adrenaline rush. Like, we were just talking back and forth, and then she was like, okay, jump off, bye. And I was like, I feel a connection, but I have to
Can I get your number?
No way, I can't do it. My dad was right there.
No, I know.
My dad was right there. I couldn't do it. But yeah, anyway, just like be fluid, you know? Just be approachable.
And like we've mentioned in the past, know how to take a no.
Oh yeah, dude, honestly, go into, like, if I say, okay, Amanda, I want to ask for your number, I have to go into it being ready for her to say no. And be like,
expect the no.
Yeah, be like, honestly, like, or even, I don't know, do you say this like, no big deal if you can't or don't want to, but just thought I'd offer. And then if they say no, like, no big deal, we could just still be friends or talk if it's cool with you. Like, just glad we got that out of the way. You know?
Yeah, I think I mentioned this. I asked a photographer that worked at a bar once, and I was like, "Hey, you can say no if you want, but would you like to get coffee sometime?" And they were like, "Yeah, just hit me up on Facebook," because they when they take pictures, they put them all up and like add people. So I was like, "Sure." But then I went one step too far and was like, "You can say no if you want." After I got the yes, but that's okay. It worked. Awkward charm. Hey, it worked.
It did work. I mean, you can be awkward and it'll still work, but like...
Yeah, you got to be charming awkward, but don't be creepy awkward. There's just a difference. You can be awkward in the part that it's all like, oh, they're very concerned about,
I feel really bad.
Like I have to say yes.
I feel bad when creepy people don't know they're being creepy, and I want to tell them so bad and be like, hey, man, that's over the line a little bit.
I know.
Like, just be chill, be approachable, fluid, like...
Yeah, and I've tried to help people with advice like that, like even recently, and like they just don't get it, and then they do it, and I'm like, I don't know what you were expecting out of this situation, because I literally told you that this was going to be the outcome.
Like, you cannot go in super hard like, hey, want to go on a date and then get married? Like, obviously not like that, but you know what I'm saying? Like,
you've got to take the no. You've got to take the no. Just go on. It's fine. We got another question here.
One more question. Yo, no, because I need to hear the question. I was going to say, while you ask the question, I'm going to go get my beet juice. But
okay. While I start answering the question, you can go get your beet juice.
Yeah, do that. Or tell me the question so I can think of my answer while I go get my beet juice. So.
Okay. Then we have one after this that somebody asked. It's a shorter one, but I wouldn't have any advice to her. So.
Oh, I would have. Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Okay. So as a little bit of a background for myself, I've moved state about 5 years ago and have been through a couple of bad friendships that put me through hell, really. I moved down south after my freshman year of high school. So it kind of sucked having to make new friends. I say it sarcastically because I'm shit when it comes to talking to people. I find that I have better conversations with people I know online than in real life, or at least face to face. I'm also pretty awkward. It's also pretty awkward for me to talk to girls, especially when I know that they like me. I'm not sure what it is, but my mentality is why I go through a relationship with someone when they don't mesh with me in conversation. Oh, so my mentality is why I go through a relationship with someone when I don't mess with them in conversation. So like, why would you bother trying to pursue a relationship with somebody that you just don't get along with when you're having?
Yeah,
exactly. My old roommate's like really, really serious like that. He just can't. For example, I've had conversations with girls that I think what I like and things I talk about are boring and clearly look for how much money I'm worth. I guess how much I'm willing to spend on them. I'm not a cheap guy either, so I don't act like an entitled dick or anything. I always offer to pay for meals and whatnot on dates. I find that after these girls find out I'm into cartoons and nerdy stuff, they consider me to be a kid. And yes, I've had two call me a boy and that they need a man. So I just tend to stay away from personal relationships. I just feel like this person's just finding all the worst people in the world. I think it's the type of people you're looking for.
Dude, you're gonna find a girl who's super down with all that.
Yeah, exactly. Because that's like super in right now. Then it's like, I feel like I might be used again, even just insulted, just because I like to have conversations about politics or the universe or how things have changed the world. I feel like you're just fine. Like, what kind of person are you looking for? Because a lot of the people that, like, I think it might depend on, let's see, maybe, I don't know, maybe I'm just acting like a complete dingus and should mind about turn to a man like they say. I'm trying to figure out how old you are, because like, you said freshman, so so you'd probably be in like your first year of college if you're in college, or just like your first year out of high school, or like your second year now. I think it might just be the type of person you're going after. It sounds like, whether you realize it or not, you seem to be finding like very vapid, shallow people. I don't know where you're meeting them. I don't know how you're coming into contact with them, but I feel like if you have like certain interests and that brings you to certain locations, you should find people that have similar interests to you. So I feel like that's the kind of information that we need to know here. Obviously, talking to people online can feel a lot easier, because I feel like sometimes online you feel like you don't have to try as hard. You can kind of stay at you can keep people as close or as pushed away as you want. Whereas in real life, I feel like everybody's doing their best to impress people. You're always trying to be like 100%. I'm like, are you meeting these people on Tinder? Because then it could just literally be the type of people that you're swiping right. Do you do anything that might show people that you have money? Not that I'm saying that it's your fault that people are like asking you for money, or you seem to end up with girls that just kind of like want your money, but I kind of seems like wherever you're putting yourself out there, or wherever you're finding people, is that you are just unintentionally coming across like the most vapid people in the world. So like, maybe you either just need to switch up your strategy for finding girls, change what you're looking for in girls, and then maybe you're more likely to find somebody that kind of meshes with that. Yeah, I think
I'd probably line up with everything you said. I did leave for a second to get my juice, but
it just seems like this person is somehow finding the most like shallow, materialistic, vapid people, and I don't know if they don't.
How old
are
they again?
I think they're like 1 or 2 years out of high school. So,
okay,
but they're always like they're saying
common for that age.
Yeah, and like honestly, like if you're on Tinder and you're swiping right on the honeys, like a lot of those honeys, though, that's what they're into. They're into the money. They're into like the appearances of things, and like not obviously.
You gotta find like, dude, there's honeys that are like cool, but you have to. They're hard.
You gotta look at but that's what I mean. I don't even know if this is Tinder or life, and if it's in real life, it's hanging out. Whereas I feel like if you were hanging out in places that align with your passions and your interests, you would have to find somebody who would align with your interests. So I would say it's definitely not worth giving up. It's not. I don't think it's a you issue.
Yeah, it's not you, bro. It's them.
Yeah, like unless you're doing something that is like, unless you're flaunting your money to get dates or something, then you're going to attract the wrong kind of people. Yeah. But if you're not, if you're just kind of going through life, it just might be where you're hanging out or something, like, because it seems like you're not having trouble getting dates. Like maybe you're actually like a really good looking person and you're just attracting all sorts of people. But I totally agree with, like, you definitely should not go through relationships with somebody that's into you for your money and that you don't mesh with on a conversational level. You want to be able to have that.
My worst fear, or I guess not my worst fear, because I wouldn't let it happen, but like being with somebody who I couldn't like talk to about everything, and like they could talk to me about everything, and like we're just synced up. Like,
it's normal not to have differences and to have different passions, different interests, but like you should never have to feel like you're going to get made fun of for wanting to talk about something that's happening in the world, or like your belief about the universe, or something amazing, or something that you're passionate in, because the right person, even if they are not passionate about the same thing you are going to be very interested because you're passionate about something. It's like, I'm sure I've dated tons of people who don't care about half the shit I like.
And you just go on and they listen. And then you listen to them and they have like their passion.
Yeah,
it's so
exactly.
Dope. That's what relationship is.
Yeah, it is. Passion. So I think you can make it work. It's going to take some time. And like I said, just maybe like look into some different places. Yeah. So do you want me to ask this one other question that you can probably relate to?
Yeah, let me drink this beet juice. Check this out, bro. This looks like blood. Can you see?
I know. I see all
I've
the
never
bubbles.
had beet juice in my life.
I've had a couple different types of beet juice. They're interesting.
I'm scared.
Okay, so this one, he asked it.
Hold on, Jedi.
Yeah,
Your mic keeps cutting in and out. I don't know why it does that. I don't know if it's Discord. Does it happen to my voice too?
No, you've been good.
And like, if you look on your Audacity, can you see like inconsistencies sometimes when it spikes?
Nope, it's always going.
I think it's Discord
probably
then.
Discord.
It's however I'm receiving it. So I apologize if it is. It's super minor sometimes, but then sometimes like just now it went like hardcore out.
Oh no.
But anyway, this is the last question.
Yeah, so this is a question I didn't really, I'm just going to ask the more specific one. So when you're a young age and your parents get a divorce, it soon just becomes normal life that your parents are separated. But what happens when you're an adult in the middle of your parents fighting and getting divorced? So somebody who's basically like, how do you deal with family fracturing at an old age? And like, I don't know. I honestly disagree. They said it's easier to get over things when you're younger because it becomes a part of your normal life. When you're older, how do you build that normal life around it? In my opinion, I feel like if I was older and not living at home, it'd be easy. Like it would suck if my parents got a divorce.
If I wasn't like there.
But when you're living in it, I feel like that would be harder because then you have to deal with like moving or switching back and forth between different houses.
Yeah, I had to switch. It was horrible, dude.
That's what I mean. That sounds way worse. But I guess when you get older and I guess maybe your parents start trusting you more on that level, then they start doing your father, blah, 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 blah. It's like your mother is such a bitch. Like, maybe that's what they're talking about, and how do you deal with that and getting in I would say literally make a staunch, like, I'm not getting in the middle of this. Like, I love you both. You're my parents. I'm not your friends. I don't want to hear about your fights with one another.
Yeah.
Unless somebody did something completely horrendous and it's like, your mom cheated on me and did all these terrible things to me, then that might be something worth sharing. But if it's just like personality differences between two people that just don't love each other anymore to the point that it caused arguments, you should just really set those firm boundaries of, I don't want to hear it. I love you. I love them. Like, can we just focus on our relationship and I'll focus on my relationship with, the other parent and then keep everybody else separate. Like,
yeah, that's what I would do.
Yeah, once you're an adult, there's nothing linking. When you're a kid, yeah, you have to deal with the fact that your parents still have to try to navigate you through life.
Yeah,
as separate people. But when you're an adult, you're doing your own thing at that point.
Yeah, I'd just be like, dude, keep me out of it. Good luck, have fun. I love you both. I still care, but I'm not trying to hear you argue about where Christmas is gonna be and all that.
Yeah, like maybe you have a narcissistic parent, and that can make it harder because they'll take everything that you do for the other person as a personal attack on them. And those are the type of people you just got to shut that out. You just got to be like, no, like I'm gonna, I'll come visit you on Christmas, but I'm also going there for Christmas. It's not an attack on either of you. I love you both. Like, just really maintain that. I love you both. I want to see you both. This is how I'm dividing my time.
And if they're like good about it, they should value that more than anything.
And if they're not, focus on the one that's not causing you stress over the situation, because that's the one that is less likely to like mess up your life.
For real.
Yeah. So that would be my advice there. I guess I did have more advice there than I thought I was going to.
Dude, you have good advice. Amanda has great advice. I follow it closely to the T every time.
She says she will. She'll be like, you right, Jedi. And then it's like 2 days later, Jedi fucked up.
Jedi, something bad. Dude, it's always like, you say like all the truth, and then I'm like, damn, I needed to read that. And then I needed to hear that. You're right. Damn, I needed to hear that, Jedi. And then I just like, fuck off. I'm that friend.
You're like Drew Barrymore in 51st Dates. It's like the second it's gone, you're like,
I mean,
all right, my bullshit over there, I'm on it.
Dude, I still listen to your advice though. I do.
I know. It's just sometimes it's hard to take.
Solid. It's solid advice.
Solid advice. So yeah, that's my advice there, is that if you're having that many your family that late in life, but
yeah, family issues suck.
Drink that juice.
Well, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to chug this whole thing on camera,
just
but
have a sip. I just want to see your facial reaction.
So this is I'm covering up who this is from. I don't want to give them any free promo because I had to pay a lot.
Yeah.
This is the most colorific or colored juice of them all. It is beet juice.
Yeah, my favorite was the blue lemonade that was green. That was
yeah, it said blue
I'm
lemonade.
I'm not talking like aqua. I'm talking like green wall green.
It was not blue, and it did not taste like lemonade. I'm saying.
Yeah.
Oh, this doesn't. This smells. They put a lot of ginger in them, I think, to just mask the taste. I don't know.
Yeah.
It smells real spicy.
Ginger's good for your immunity, so it's probably it
smells pretty bad. Okay, I'm gonna take a sip.
Sip it, bitch.
Oh, it's not bad. That's not bad at all.
That's
the first one was worse. The worst.
I believe it. Yeah.
No, the aftertaste is pretty horrible, but like I could definitely suck this down.
Yeah, because when you bite into a beet, it's usually not bad. It's just that kind of like earthy aftertaste type thing. And then when it's all concentrated like that, and the ginger has a very powerful aftertaste. It's not that bad.
I don't like it, but it's like I said, the first one was worse. The one for dinner, I should have grabbed it to show you guys. It's like chunky soup. I don't think I'm going to be able to eat it. I might just eat some nuts for dinner.
Yeah, it literally looks like what I.
They said you can eat like if you get like really dizzy or really hungry, you can eat like fruit
can eat foliage.
or no, you can eat like fruit or like nuts. And so I have like some cashews here that I might eat. But yeah, I'm kickstarting myself into a healthy life. Fuck you, Chick-fil-A. I don't need you anymore. I don't need you, pizza. See ya. I'm healthy. I'm trying to lose this weight, dog. I'm gonna be so. Ooh, girl, watch out when I glow up. I'll be able to box you and get any chick I want. Just saying.
I believe it.
I believe it too.
I believe the second part.
I think I could already get any chick I want if I really try.
Exactly.
If I put forth the effort. Hit me up, Lady Gaga.
Oof.
Psst, I gotta go. All right. Okay. I gotta pee and I gotta drink this beet juice. I gotta get my.
Yeah, I understand.
I gotta be cleansed, okay?
Yep. Gotta cleanse that bladder.
Yeah.
The only thing you cleansing.
My soul.
Watch out. Apparently it doesn't work very well.
Yeah. I love you, Jedi. I love you guys for listening, especially if you listened all the way. This is another solid hour and a half. Mm-hmm. We love it. Thank you guys so much for listening. You can listen on SoundCloud, iTunes, or just watch on YouTube. The links for the other avenues to listen are down in the description below.
Hell yeah.
Appreciate it. If you have interest in sponsoring or wanting to do any kind of affiliate code with us, hit us up at the email that's down below. Okay? It'll be down below in the description. I haven't made it yet. Maybe I'll just give them my normal business email. I don't know.
Do it up.
I'll put some type of email down there, though. And, yeah, appreciate you guys listening. Have a great rest of your day. Follow the channel. Follow us on everything. It's all down in the description. Appreciate you guys. Peace.